A pleasant, good Saturday afternoon to all of you. Welcome back to Bob Stein Stadium at Lynn Cottrell Park in the heart of the North Georgia Mountains at UNG, where Peach Belt Conference baseball is on the air. It's the series finale between the Salem University Tigers and the North Georgia Nighthawks. And hello again, everyone. Robert DiClemente here alongside Devin Kupka and the rest of the Nighthawk Sports Network crew. We're glad to have you back with us. The Tigers took Game 2 of the series 8-6 just 30 minutes ago after a quiet offensive game from the Tigers in Game 1 yesterday. They stepped up in a big way, putting up 8 runs and 13 hits on North Georgia. The Nighthawks responded early, and it stayed a close game a majority of the time. It was just a matter of the Tigers being a little more hot offensively than the Nighthawks. And Devin, what do you think is the biggest key for North Georgia to dial in on if they want to come away with the series win?
Well, I think we got to look back to Game 1 last night. Is just look at how consistent the Nighthawks were on both sides, on the pitching, the fielding, and batting as well. I think there were moments in the last game where the Nighthawks would get really hot, but then then you'd have the opposite end of it, where we would get very cold at points and then allow a bunch of runs. I think the key to this game will be consistency. Look back to Game 1 and kind of execute the same way we did in that game.
Absolutely. We should be in for a fantastic finish here in our series finale at the Steiner at Glenn. Again, we're glad to have you with us today. Here's what the batting order looks like for head coach JT Heenan in game number 3. It's going to be Angarita leading things off, followed by Air, Zacharias, Taylor Shin in the cleanup spot, and then Kuhn, Hurley, Matos, Forbes, and Loho. And they're going to have to face off against the man on the mound, Matthew Hurd, for North Georgia, getting the start here in game number 3. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Hurd this season, a 3.93 ERA. He's pitched 55 innings, allowing 55 hits, 27 runs, 24 of those runs being earned. He's walked 24 people this season, 41 batters he has struck out. That is the second most on the team. Allowed 4 home runs as well. As we are underway here in our series finale, counts 1-2 for Angarita. That one's going to be outside, now 2-2. We saw a few different pitchers for North Georgia see the mound about 30 minutes ago. That one's going to be grounded right back to Hurd, and he'll make the flip over to Bowman at first for the first out here in the top of the first. And now Brett Ayer is going to step up for the first time in game number 3. Ayer had a hit in his 5 appearances at the plate in game number 2 of this series. And that pitch from Hurd is going to be left outside for a ball, 1-0. Now it's going to be fouled, now 1-1 for Ayer. And Hurd's got his signal. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Going to be low, or actually inside for a strike, 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. Outside, now 2-2. And the Tigers going with the same top 3 in their batting order with Angarita, Ayer, and Zacharias. 2-2 pitch. Going to be low, now a full count for Ayer. We didn't see a lot of full counts yesterday in game 1. Saw quite a few earlier today. full count pitch. Hurd gets him swinging and missing there for the strikeout. First strikeout of the day for Matthew Hurd. Now Caden Zacharias stepping up for the Tigers.
It's another strikeout for Matthew Hurd, and he is averaging just about 4 strikeouts per game in his last 6 pitching appearances.
And he's already got one underneath his belt here in the top of the first. Now Zacharias up to bat. He had a hit earlier today as well. 1 of 13 for the Tigers. That one's going to be grounded to Frost. He'll make the easy throw to first for out number 3, and so that's going to take us to the bottom of the first. We'll see if North Georgia can strike first. Andrew Sopata going to lead things off when we return. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here at the Steiner as we head to the bottom of the first. We'll see if North Georgia can strike first in this one. Here's what the batting order looks like for Coach Cantrell in game number 3. Andrew Sopata is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks, followed by Jace Bowen, Riley Frost, Nick Levenstein still in that cleanup spot, and then Tim Conway, Edwin Bowman, Justin Bailey, Connor Frost, and Luke Starling is going to round out the batting order for the Nighthawks, and they're going to have to face off against the man on the mound for the Tigers, number 37, Alden Halfinger. He's 6'2", sophomore pitcher out of Haddam Killingworth High School.
Leading off for the Nighthawks, number 28.
Halfinger with a 6.28 ERA this season. He's pitched just over 14 innings, allowing 18 hits, 11 runs, got 11 strikeouts, only walked 2 batters. He's allowed just 1 home run this season as well. Held his opponents to a .316 batting average. And his first pitch of the afternoon is going to be a ball. It's a 1-0 count for Opata. Now it's going to be high and outside. Now 2-0 for Andrew Sopata. Opata had 2 hits in his 5 appearances at the plate earlier today, and RBI as well. Now it's going to be inside for a strike. Now 1-2. So Coach Cantrell looking to switch things up here. Bowen usually leads things off for the Nighthawks. Opata leading things off here, and that one's hit well into right field, popped up, and that's going to be caught by the right fielder, Kuhn. And so now Jace Bowen stepping up for North Georgia. Bowen still looking for his first hit of the afternoon against Salem. Was unable to get one earlier today. Did score 2 runs, though, when he was on base. Was walked a couple of times, and he sees a strike go by him there. The count's 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch to Bowen. He cranks that one into right, and that's going to be caught by the second baseman, Angarita. So now Riley Frost stepping up for North Georgia. Frost continues to stay hot for the Nighthawks, as he did earlier today. Frost 1 for 3 in game 2. And you see the ball go past him there. The count's going to be 1-0. And 1-0 pitch to Frost. High. Now 2-0. Tigers trying to get a quick 3 up, 3 down. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Frost. That one's hit well into left field. And that ball is gone. It's getting frosty up in here. Riley Frost with the solo home run over the left field wall, opening things up for the Nighthawks. It's an early 1-0 lead for North Georgia, courtesy of the man himself, Riley Frost.
Yeah, that was a good at-bat, and look, that's the start you want with the Nighthawks, and especially when you look back at last game, they scored in the bottom of the first inning as well, but North Georgia seems like they're a little bit more on edge this game compared to last game.
And that is going to be home run number 6 for Riley Frost this season. Leads the Nighthawks in home runs, and he gives them an early 1-0 lead against Salem here in the series finale. Now Nick Levenstein's up to bat for North Georgia, and he hits this one well into right. And that's going to be right into the glove of the right fielder. But the Nighthawks take an early 1-0 lead, courtesy of a solo shot to left from Riley Frost. Nighthawks out to an early lead in this one. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here in Dahlonega as we head to the top of the second. North Georgia holds an early 1-0 lead over Salem University. A solo shot over the left field wall from Riley Frost, giving the Nighthawks the early lead in this one. And Tyler Shin is going to lead things off for the Tigers to open up the second. And speaking of North Georgia leads, over in Milledgeville, North Georgia softball taking on Georgia College in Game 2 of their doubleheader today. They're up 6-0 over Georgia College. Top of the 7th, 2 outs, as the number 1 team in the nation looks to take the series win today. And that one's going to be popped up to Opata over in center field for the first out here in the top of the second.
Number 6, Nathan.
And so now Nathan Kuhn stepping up. And Kuhn, last game, in his 3 at-bats, was the only player in the starting lineup to not get a hit, and he's not getting one here, courtesy of Connor Frost and Edwin Bowman. Getting the easy out there. So now Jacob Hurley's going to step up for the Tigers. Hurley, earlier today in his 4 appearances at the plate, had 1 hit and RBI, was struck out as well. And that pitch from Hurd's right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch from Hurd. Another one down the middle for a strike, 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch, that one's hit well into left field. And another routine play for the Nighthawks. Justin Bailey there to make the catch. So a quick 3 up, 3 down for North Georgia, taking us to the bottom of the second. We'll see if they can extend their lead early when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, the Nighthawks with an early 1-0 lead over the Tigers here in the series finale. Tim Conway is going to lead things off for North Georgia here in the bottom of the second. Conway earlier today, his 4 appearances at the plate, did not have a hit, so he'll be looking for his first of the afternoon. Was able to score a run when he was on base. So we'll see what the senior can do here to open up play for North Georgia in the bottom of the second, and that one's hammered into left field. Tim Conway with his first hit of the afternoon. He'll round his way for 2, and he will trot in easily. Tim Conway starting to heat up here for North Georgia.
North Georgia off to a fiery start for Game 2, Game 3 of the series today.
And so now Edwin Bowman's going to step up for North Georgia. Bowman, his 5 appearances at the plate. He had a hit and an RBI. He'll be looking for more of the same. And now with the senior Tim Conway over on second. Now he's going to cut it close for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch to Bowman, going to be high and outside. Now 2-0. He's got Justin Bailey on deck. And the 2-0 pitch to Bowman. That one's inside, down the middle for a strike, 2-1. Bowman sitting at 6 in the batting order for North Georgia today. Breaking up the 4 straight seniors of Nick Levenstein's Tim Conway, Justin Bailey, and Connor Frost. And that one's hit to third, and the throw to first on time. It's going to leave Conway over there on second, giving us the first out here in the bottom of the second. And now Justin Bailey stepping up into the batter's box for North Georgia.
Now batting, number 2, Justin Bailey.
Justin Bailey earlier today, 4 appearances at the plate, 1 hit. and an RBI. And a classic Bailey bunt here. It's going to be tipped and fouled, 0-1 count. Still got Conway over there on second base. And Justin Bailey could potentially get another sack bunt here. He's second in the Peach Belt Conference in that category with 6 this season. Connor Frost not too far behind him with 4 as that pitch is going to hit Justin Bailey in the back. Not going to get a chance to get a sack bunt here, but nevertheless, he'll make his way to first, and that's going to put runners on first and second now for Connor Frost, as we just mentioned. Right behind Justin Bailey in sacrifice bunts with 4 this year. Connor Frost also 6th in the Peach Belt Conference with 28 walks. And he sees a strike right down the middle, 0-1.
Number 9, Connor Frost.
Frost, another veteran leader on this North Georgia squad. And the 0-1 pitch, that one's hammered into right field high, and that is going to not be caught by the right fielder. That one looked like it may have been fair from our vantage point, but it's called foul.
Yeah, the ball just went over the foul line. I guess you could say the runner it's going after the ball made it look like it was going to be fair, but he ended up not being able to come up with the catch. Nathan Kuhn out there in right field.
And if that was able to stay fair, that would have been plenty enough to score Tim Conway over at second. Potentially Bailey over at first as well. But it's an 0-2 count for Connor Frost. And the 0-2 pitch, and that one's driven into left. So Connor Frost gets one down in left, and Coach Cantrell is waving him home, and that's going to be another run up on the board for North Georgia. And it is definitely getting frosty up in here now as Connor Frost adds a run for North Georgia.
It's been the AC has been turned on.
It's been all the Frost brothers here to open up this game. As you mentioned, definitely getting frosty up in here. And so now,
and this is definitely the start that North Georgia needed, especially when you look back to last game. What I said at the end of this last game and the beginning of this game is, look, you just need to be consistent, and the Nighthawks have shown that so far.
Bunt there from Starling. He's going to be out over at first, but that's going to advance runners to second and third. Connor Frost over there on second. Bailey over on third. And you're exactly right, Devin. This is exactly what the Nighthawks need, getting out to an early, hot start here. And now the Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Andrus Opata. Now it's going to be right outside for a ball, 1-0. Nighthawks already have 3 hits in this one. A 2-0 lead over the Tigers. And the 1-0 pitch to Opata, going to cut it close for another ball, 2-0. And maybe an intentional walk there for Opata as he makes his way to first.
I find that strategy interesting, intentionally walking a batter, especially when you already have runners on third and second, bases loaded, and if you get another base hit, you could easily have at least 1 to 2 more runs scored up. So I'm not
And
really
that one's
understand
hit
the strategy.
well into right field and caught by the right fielder. Jace Bowen almost had his first collegiate home run. What a play made in the right outfield. It's going to take us to the third. Nighthawks with an early 2-0 lead in this one. An RBI from Connor Frost puts the Nighthawks up 2-0. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in Dahlonega. It's still a 2-0 ball game. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers. Ben Matos is going to lead things off for the Tigers here in the top of the third. And Matos earlier today, 3 appearances at the plate, was able to get a hit, but not this time. Andrew Sopata there to make the diving catch over in center field.
Nice snag by Opata.
So now Aaron Forbes going to get a crack at it here, and Forbes saw the most success out of any batter in the game earlier today. Forbes, 4 appearances at the plate, got 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and scored 2 runs when he was on base. So he's definitely a player that the Nighthawks have to watch out for here in the series finale. It's a 1-0 count for Forbes. Now it's going to be inside for a strike. Now 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, going to cut it close for a ball. 2-1. Hurd looking for his second strikeout of the day. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Forbes. Makes it 2-2. Doesn't look like we're getting those double P signs. Doesn't matter. Still 2-2. Here comes the pitch. And now it's going to be fouled near the Tigers' dugout. Count stays at 2-2.
I like how North Georgia has responded so far after what happened in Game 2 of the series and the first game of today.
As that pitch is going to go off the glove of Starling. And now the count is full for Forbes. And the full count pitch. Another strikeout there for Matthew Hurd. Gets Forbes swinging. 2 outs here in the top of the third, and Jose Lojo now up to bat. Lojo earlier today, 4 appearances at the plate. 2 hits, had himself a nice game. An RBI, and he scored a run when he was on base as well. And that one's going to be low and outside, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch from Hurd, also low. Counts now 2-0 for Jose Lojo. Tigers do not have a runner on. That one's hit well into left field. And that one's going to hit the wall. Bailey there makes the throw over to second, and his team motioning Loho to stay on first, but he's going to get to second. Ump over there at second, motioning him to come back. And that could have potentially been interference there with Edwin Bowman at first. Not entirely sure what the call was. And now the Tigers return to the top of their batting order with Luis Angarita. He sees a ball there. It's a 1-0 count for Angarita. As Hurd gets his signal, here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's going to be down the middle for a strike, 1-1. Got 2 outs here in the top of the third. Runner over on second in Loho. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be driven into left field and get down. And JT Heenan's waving him home, and the throw to home plate is not going to get there on time, and the tag over at second. Throws also not on time, as the Tigers put a run up on the board, courtesy of Luis Angarita getting the RBI there. Grounder in the left makes it a 1-2 ball game.
Yeah, ball was hit down deep on the left field side. Was able to get second base home.
And the Tigers did a good job in game number 1 of our doubleheader earlier today, finding the gaps. Angarita finds it there, over and left.
And I feel like a lot of what happened in the last game was kind of what happened on that play there, where they were able to find the gaps and easily get a double.
And so the double there from Angarita puts him on second base, and a run up on the board for the Tigers. Now with Brett Ayer up to bat for Salem. And Coach Cantrell just having a quick convo with his pitcher, Matthew Hurd. Try to calm him down a bit. It's a couple hits here in the top of the third. Run scored as well. And that pitch from Hurd's going to be outside, 1-0. Hurd gets the signal. Still 2 outs in the top of the third. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Allen's going to paint that top left corner of the zone, now 1-1. Not a pickoff attempt coming at second. Hurd faking the throw over to Frost. There at second. And the 1-1 pitch. Swing and miss there from Ayer. Makes it a 1-2 count. Hurd gets his signal. He's got his eye over on second still. The 1-2 pitch to Ayer going to be left outside Cats now 2-2. As Coop would say, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. With number 2-5 at the plate, Brett Ayer. Runner on second base. Comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be grounded up the right field line. Fouled, 2-2. The count stays at 2-2 for Ayer. And the 2-2 pitch. That one's hit well into right center field, into the gap. And that's going to tie up this ball game at 2-2. An RBI there from Brett Ayer. Gets one down in shallow right center field. And just like that, it's a tied ball game.
Yeah, once again, Salem University just finding the gaps and getting those base hits and then turning them into runs. And now we have a tie ball game in the top of the third.
And it's been a back and forth couple of games between these two squads. No team has been able to really pull away from the other.
And one thing, too, Salem was able to get both of these runs on 2 outs.
We saw North Georgia put up a couple runs on 2 outs as well earlier today. And so both of these teams doing a good job battling down with 2 outs. Counts 1-0 for Zacharias, who's back up to bat for the Tigers. Pickoff attempt there at first. Counts still 1-0 for Zacharias. Another pickoff attempt over there at first base. And Bowman's ready for it. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one's popped up high into left center field. And that's going to be caught by Justin Bailey. So that's going to take us to the bottom of the third. But the Tigers are able to tie this ball game up at 2 apiece with the Nighthawks. We'll see how North Georgia responds in the bottom of the third when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at Bob Stein Stadium. It's a tied ball game, 2-2 between North Georgia and Salem University as we head to the bottom of the third. Riley Frost is going to lead things off for the Nighthawks, and he had that solo shot over the left field wall last time he saw the plate. Definitely going to be looking for more of the same from him here, but he's not going to get a chance to get another one. That one's going to hit him in the back off that pitch from Aiden Halfinger. And so now Nick Levensteins is going to step up into the batter's box for the Nighthawks. And that pitch is going to be well outside, left for a ball, 1-0 for Levensteins. Levensteins was able to find the gap over there and right first hit of the afternoon earlier today. And the 1-0 pitch, that one's slapped into right, just fouled, 1-1.
It was just over the foul line.
North Georgia's had a couple of what-if plays here in this game. A couple balls not able to go their way, just fouled. And if that one was able to stay fair, probably would have scored Frost, or at least put him on third. The 1-1 pitch to Levensteins. And that one's popped up high into center field. Shallow center field, and that's going to be caught by the shortstop, Brett Ayer. Giving us the first out in the bottom of the third, and Tim Conway back up to bat for North Georgia.
Up to the plate, number 5, Tim Conway.
Conway was able to get a hold of the ball last time he saw the plate. Got a hit in this one. His first of the afternoon. Was able to get one down and left. And that pitch from Halfinger right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Pick-off attempt there at first. Conway still awaits the pitch. Down in an 0-1 count. And the 0-1 pitch to Conway. He grounds this one over to the shortstop. He'll make the throw to second on time. Throw to first on time for the double play. So that's going to take us to the fourth. North Georgia unable to put another run up on the board. And that's taking us to the fourth. We'll see if the Tigers can take the lead for the first time in Game 3 when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here at the Steiner, where it's a tied ball game between North Georgia and Salem University in the series finale as we head to the top of the fourth, where number 7 Tyler Shin is going to lead things off for the Tigers. Shin looking for his first hit here in game number 3 and the 4th overall for Salem. And that pitch from Hurd's going to be outside. 1-0. And it is official, North Georgia softball with the series win over Georgia College. They win game number 2 of their doubleheader today, 6-0 against the Bobcats. Scoring courtesy of Matty Perry, grounding out to second base, RBI, scoring Georgia Blair. A 3-run bomb by Hannah Forehand. And Olivia Sinkfield, single up the middle, RBI, scoring Matty Perry. And Marcel Brumby flied out to right field, sacrifice fly, RBI, scoring Mariah Wicker.
2 big wins for the North Georgia softball team, picking up 2 crucial Peach Belt wins as well.
And game 3 of the series set for tomorrow at noon. The Nighthawks looking for the series sweep as Shins walked to first. Nathan Kuhn now up to bat for the Tigers. Kuhn also looking for his first hit here in game number 3. And that win from North Georgia softball pushes them to 43-4 on the year, 13-0 away, 21-2 in conference play. In what has been just a historic season for the squad. A bunt here is going to be fair up the left field line, and the throw from Bowen to first on time. So that sacrifice bunt there from Kuhn is going to put Shin over on second. And now Jacob Hurley's going to get a crack at it here for the Tigers.
Number 27, Jacob Hurley.
Now 43-4. And that one's going to be popped up high into left center field. But it looks like Opada's going to be there. Routine play. And that's going to leave Shin over on second, giving us 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And now Ben Matos stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers.
Ben Matos.
And the Tigers have seen success from the top 2 in their batting order in Angarita and Air, and not much else here in Game 3 so far. And that's going to be inside for a strike, 0-1. Hurd gets his signal. The 0-1 pitch. That one's also going to paint that left side of the zone. Now a quick 0-2 count for Ben Matos. And the 0-2 pitch going to be left high and outside of the zone, 1-2. So 1-2 count for Matos, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. The runner on second in Shin. And the 1-2 pitch from Hurd gets another strikeout there, this time on Matos. Make that 3 strikeouts for Matthew Hurd in this one, taking us to the bottom of the 4th. We'll see if North Georgia can regain the lead when we come back. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. It's a tied ball game between North Georgia and Salem University, 2-2. Edwin Bowman's going to lead things off for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the 4th. Bowman grounded out last time he was at the plate. They'll be looking for a different outcome here against Halfinger. And Bowman swings hard on that one and misses. 0-1. Bowman, a freshman out of Swanee, Georgia, pops this one up high into left center field. And it looks like that's going to be caught by the left fielder, Jacob Hurley. Bowman didn't have quite enough underneath that one to get it over. Giving us the first out here in the bottom of the fourth, and Justin Bailey back up to bat for North Georgia. Bailey was hit by pitch last time he was at the plate. And that one's going to be right down the middle from Halfinger. An 0-1 count for Justin Bailey. And the 0-1 pitch. Now one's also popped up high into left center field, this time shallow. Caught by the shortstop, Air. Now 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Connor Frost back up to bat for the Nighthawks. Frost had that RBI last time he was at the plate to give the Nighthawks a 2-0 lead. He added on to the lead that his brother, Riley Frost, set up for him with that solo shot to left in the bottom of the first. And now Connor Frost in a 1-1 count. And the 1-1 pitch. Now it's going to be grounded right back to the glove of Halfinger. He will make the easy flip over to first base for out number 3. So that's going to take us to the fifth. Still a 2-2 ball game here at the Steiner. And you're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here in Dahlonega. Still a 2-2 ball game between the Nighthawks and the Tigers as we head to the top of the fifth, where Aaron Forbes is going to lead things off for Salem. Aaron Forbes saw a lot of success earlier today. He's looking for his first hit here in game number 3. And he sees a strike there from Matthew Hurd. Counts 0-1. Hurd today has allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of those runs earned. Walked just 1 batter and struck out 3. And now it's going to be grounded into the gap in left field. And that's going to be a base hit for Aaron Forbes. Finds the gap between Opata and Bailey over there in left center field. And now Jose Lojo stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers. Lojo was able to get a hit last time he saw the plate. Lojo rounding out the batting order for the Tigers. And that pitch is going to be just outside that top right corner. 1-0 count for Lojo.
Loho was also one of the batters that was able to get a run for Salem earlier in the game.
1-0 pitch. Going to be inside for a strike, 1-1. Loho did score a run when he was on base. And the 1-1 pitch from Hurd. That one's going to be low for a ball, 2-1. As Hurd gets his signal. And the 2-1 pitch to Loho. That one's hit well into right, and that's going to get down over in right field, and that's going to put runners on the corners for Luis Angarita as the Tigers return to the top of their batting order. It's definitely not what you want to see if you're Coach Cantrell. And now we see some action going on in the Nighthawks bullpen. After Hurd has allowed his 4th hit in this one. Starling trying to get on the same page as his pitcher. Got no outs in the top of the 5th. Runners on the corners for Salem. Now it's going to be just outside for a ball, 1-0 for Angarita. Pickoff attempt over there at first. Angarita was able to get a hit last time he saw the plate, and RBI as well. And Angarita swings hard on that one and misses. Now a 1-1 count. The sun still continues to shine here in Dahlonega. Weather is pretty perfect for baseball today. Of course, had some switch-ups to the schedule due to some inclement weather tomorrow. And so it would have been a 3-game series spanning over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Turned into a game yesterday on Friday evening and a doubleheader today. We saw North Georgia take the win last night in game number 1. And earlier today, game 2 was in favor of the Tigers. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss there from Angarita. Now a 1-2 count. As Loho was able to get on second, still on base there. Hurd gets his signal. And the 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be low. Now 2-2. Nighthawks going with the same lineup defensively as well as they did in game number 1 today. And the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. That one may have gotten a piece of Angarita. He looks to be a bit shaken up there. Count still 2-2 for Angarita. He looks to be okay. And the 2-2 pitch. Now it's going to be grounded over to Bowen. He'll gather, make the throw to first. And that's not going to be there on time as the Tigers put another run up on the board. And they take the lead for the first time here in game number 3. 3-2. Now runners are on the corners again. This time for Brett Ayer.
The ball was grounded to Riley Frost, and it looked like Riley Frost, when he was trying to get the ball, slipped a little bit, and the throw was a little off because his throw was a little high, and Edwin Bowman at first base had to kind of not jump in the air, but kind of had to.
Another stolen base attempt there, and Starling unable to make the throw to Frost properly, and that's going to cost him another run, making this a 4-2 ball game in favor of the Tigers. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, Salem with the lead. And so now Zacharias stepping back up for the Tigers. No outs here in the top of the fifth. Zacharias bunts here, fair. Hurd will make the flip over to first. That's going to put another run up on the board. This time Angarita crossing home plate, and it's now a 5-2 lead for the Tigers. And Hurd making that flip to first. Easy play there. But still, with Angarita over on third, was able to slide into home plate easily there. Zacharias up to bat. Counts 0-1. That pitch is going to be left outside. Now 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Hurd, also left outside. Now 2-1. And this North Georgia defense has struggled a bit here in the top of the fifth. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Going to be in the dirt. Now 3-1 for Zacharias. And the 3-1 pitch. Going to be low for ball number 4. And again, runners on the corners for the Tigers. And it looks like Coach Cantrell is going to make a pitching substitution here. And that's going to be the end of the day for Matthew Hurd. He's allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them being earned. He's walked a batter, struck out 3 in this one. And so now Coach Cantrell making a Wendy's call to the bullpen. Trying to switch things up here. And we'll have that pitching substitution for you here in just a moment. That's going to be number 7, Dylan Noche, with a 4.64 ERA. He's pitched 33 innings for the Nighthawks this season, allowing 42 hits, 24 runs, 17 of those runs being earned. He's walked 15 batters, struck out 26 of them, and he's allowed 3 home runs, held his opponents to a .298 batting average. So we'll see what the sophomore out of Decula High School can do here for North Georgia. So the Nighthawks making a pitching substitution about halfway through this game. See if Noche can keep the scoring load down for the Tigers. They've already put up 3 runs here in the top of the 5th. And we were earlier discussing North Georgia softball winning their doubleheader today against Georgia College. They've got their series finale against them tomorrow at noon. They are closing in on the end of their regular season with a doubleheader this Wednesday against Lincoln Memorial on the road. And then to close out the regular season back over at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium here in Dahlonega, a 3-game series against Peach Belt foe Lander University starting on April 22nd. So now Noche's got some warm-up pitches in. He's ready to go. He'll play some catch over there with Bowman at first pickoff attempt.
Curious to see what Noche can do. He's got at least one strikeout in the past 3 games and got 5 strikeouts in the game against Anderson that he pitched in.
And that's going to be a double play there for North Georgia as that ball found its way right to Frost. He'll tag the bag over at second, throw to first well on time. So that's going to take us to the bottom of the 5th. Tigers take the lead in this one, 5-2. We'll see how the Nighthawks respond when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
With 6 locations across Northeast Georgia, Howard Brothers Outdoor Power Equipment and Hardware is trusted by both professional landscapers and residential homeowners for all their outdoor equipment needs. To learn more about the family-owned business that keeps Georgia green, visit howardbrothers.com. Bryan Properties is a commercial real estate brokerage firm serving Northeast Georgia. Located in nearby Cumming, Georgia, Bryan Properties specializes in commercial real estate along the Georgia 400 corridor. For more information on Bryan Properties, visit bryanproperties.net. The UNG bookstore is operated by Barnes & Noble and is located in the Chastity Building beside Starbucks in downtown Dahlonega. Fans and students can visit in person or online at ung.bncollege.com for all your Nighthawk apparel and textbook needs for the upcoming season.
Back with you here in Dahlonega, where the Tigers hold a 5-2 lead over the Nighthawks after a 3-run inning in the top of the 5th. And Devin, you and I were just talking over the break, and you were saying that the Tigers taking a few more risks at the plate when it comes to swinging at the ball.
Yeah, you see him swing at the ball a little bit more often than what we're kind of accustomed to seeing when we're playing against other teams, seeing a lot of bunts from them, seeing him take a lot of risks in hitting because you see him swing a lot more often.
So now Luke Starling up at the plate for North Georgia. Starling's first plate appearance of the weekend.
And also with taking more risks on the batting side too, I think that also plays into a role in the progression of the game we've seen this weekend in terms of just how quickly sometimes some of the innings can go.
Absolutely. We have cranked through a couple of here. That 4th inning went by rather quickly, and Luke Starling now finds himself in a 3-0 count. And that's 4 straight balls from Halfinger. Going to walk Starling over to first, and now the Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Andrew Sopata. This is Opata's second plate appearance here in the series finale. And if you're looking at the box score for this game, you can see Tigers have had multiple chances at the plate. And every player in the batting order has seen the chance to swing at the ball in the series finale multiple times, with the exception of just Nathan Kuhn. And that pitch is going to be left high, 1-0 for Andrew Sopata. As Halfinger gets his signal, 1-0 pitch to Opata, right down the middle for a strike, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch to Opata, gonna cut it close for a ball, 2-1. This is the largest lead for either team in games 2 and 3. Tigers up by 3 runs over the Nighthawks. And a 2-1 pitch to Opata. Again, going to cut it close for a ball. Now 3-1. Got that runner over on first in Starling, who's walked by Halfinger. Here comes a 3-1 pitch to Opata. Outside, good eye from the freshman. And that's 2 batters walked in a row for Halfinger.
Now the key for North Georgia is to execute having this opportunity. You got 2 runners on base, 0 outs, bottom of the 5th inning, down by 3 runs. I think this might be a time to get those bats hot.
Absolutely, and that's a fine line that you got to walk between, taking some risks when you're at the plate, but also trying to play it safe as well. Opata with the good eye there, able to advance to first. And now that's going to put runners on first and second for Jace Bowen. Bowen struggling a bit today, looking for his first hit. Bowen, one of the most consistent hitters in the Peach Belt Conference, along with Riley Frost, who is on deck. Bowen bunts here. It's going to stay fair, and Halfinger will not make a play. Unable to make the throw to any base. And now bases are loaded. No outs in the bottom of the 5th for Riley Frost.
This is a big opportunity for North Georgia to get some runs in.
Well, Frost was hit by pitch last time he was at the plate. Can't afford another one of those here with the bases loaded. He also had that solo shot to left in the bottom of the 1st. And that pitch from Halfinger's right down the middle for a strike. Counts 0-1 for Riley Frost. Mound's also going to be outside, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch to Frost is going to be high and outside, now 2-1.
Got some bullpen action in Salem University's bullpen.
Bases loaded. 2-1 pitch to Frost. That one's popped up high into left field, fouled. Counts moving to 2-2. Frost with a good swing there, was able to get a hold of the ball. Couldn't keep it in play. Counts 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. High and outside, now a full count. And Halfinger cannot afford another ball here. Put a run up on the board for North Georgia with the bases loaded. Big pitch coming up here against Frost. And the full count pitch outside for ball number 4. And that's going to put another run up on the board for the Nighthawks. Bowen able to get, or Starling, excuse me, getting an unearned run there. Making this a 3-5 ball game. Bases still loaded.
Still a great opportunity for North Georgia. Bases loaded, 0 outs. Got a run due to the bases being loaded and walking a batter. Really, really, really good situation here for North Georgia.
And here comes Nick Levensteins. He sees a pitch outside of the zone, 1-0. Levensteins trying to get back into the swing of things after missing an extended period of time this season with a hand injury. And the 1-0 pitch to Levenstein is going to cut it close, 2-0. Nighthawks in great position here. And the 2-0 pitch to Levensteins. That one's going to be inside for a strike. Counts 2-1. Got no outs in the bottom of the fifth. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Levensteins. Also going to cut it close. Now 3-1. Another ball from Halfinger. It's going to make this a one-run ball game. Unless Levenstein is able to get a hold of this one. The 3-1 pitch. That one's going to be fouled. And now the count is full. And the full count pitch. That one's popped up high into right field. Fouled. Going to go over the dugout. Count staying full. Another big pitch coming up here for Halfinger. And the full count pitch. Outside for ball number 4, and that's another run up on the board for the Nighthawks. Opata going to touch home plate. Makes this a one-run ball game. This is what we were discussing earlier, that fine line you have to walk between, you know, taking some risks at the plate and playing it safe. Nighthawks have played it safe here in the bottom of the 5th.
And sometimes playing it safe can reap and have its own benefits. In this situation it did, and Levenstein didn't swing at that last pitch and gets up another easy run for North Georgia. Bases still loaded, 0 outs. Key for North Georgia is just to execute a base hit. It will easily tie the game or possibly even put the Nighthawks in the lead by a run.
Absolutely. Nighthawks have shown great plate discipline here. And it looks like there's going to be a pitching substitution.
Number 41, Evan Bell.
He's got a 3.00 ERA. He's pitched 12 innings for the Tigers. Allowed 7 hits, 5 runs. He's walked 11 batters, struck out 11 as well. Not allowed a home run. Has held his opponents to a 1.79 batting average. And so that's the end of the day for Halfinger, allowing 4 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of those runs earned. And 4 walks as well. It's a 4-5 ball game. Nighthawks trail by just a run. As Devin, you mentioned, Nighthawks in great position here with the bases loaded. Still no outs in the bottom of the 5th. With the senior Tim Conway up to bat. So we'll see what the vet does here with the bases loaded.
Salem has walked the last 5 batters. We'll see what this new pitcher has in store.
That one's going to be high and outside of the zone, a 1-0 count for Conway. Evan Bell, 6'4", pitcher out of Milton, West Virginia. graduate of Cable Midland High School. And Bell pitches a strike there, counts 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch to Conway. That one's popped up high into left field. And that one is going to be caught by the left fielder, but Bowen making a break for it home. And that's going to tie up this ball game, courtesy of Tim Conway. Popping that one up high into left field. Sac fly, scoring Bowen. And just like that, it is again a tied ball game. Just one out.
North Georgia taking advantage of the situation, and now tie ball game. You got runners on first and second with only one out in the bottom of the fifth. Great opportunity for North Georgia.
And exactly, with Edwin Bowman up to bat. He sees a strike down the middle, 0-1. Bowman's looking for his first hit here in game number 3. And now would be a great time to see that, as you mentioned, with runners on first and second. Now it's going to be left outside, 1-1. Sun still shining here in Dahlonega. A couple clouds forming as well. We're supposed to get some rain tonight. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Bowman. Outside, 2-1. Bell gets his signal. The 2-1 pitch to Bowman now is going to be popped up high into shallow center field. And that's going to be caught by the shortstop, Air. Going to leave the runners on first and second. And now Justin Bailey stepping back up for the Nighthawks. Bailey also looking for his first hit here in the series finale. Looking for a potentially perfectly placed Bailey bunt up the left field line. But you know, Bailey's also more than capable of sending one over that left field wall. Counts 0-1 for the senior. And the 0-1 pitch to Bailey. That one's going to be popped up, fouled, and caught by the first baseman. So that's going to bring us to the 6th. North Georgia matching Salem with 3 runs there in the bottom of the 5th. It's a tied ball game at 5-5. And that's going to take us to the 6th inning. We're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here at the Steiner. It's a tied ball game between North Georgia and Salem University. 5-5 as we head to the 6th. Nathan Kuhn's going to lead things off for the Tigers. And Kuhn still looking for his first hit this afternoon. Was the only Tiger to not get a hit in Game 2 earlier today. He sees a strike right down the middle from Dylan Noche. Counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle again, and Kuhn quickly finds himself down 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch from Noche. That one's going to be popped up high into center field. And Opata, routine play there. Kuhn still searching for his first hit. Not going to get it there. And now Jacob Hurley stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers. Hurley looking for his first hit in Game 2, that is. Or Game 3, the series finale. Game 2 of our doubleheader today. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. 0-1 count for Hurley. And Noche's working a bit quickly here. Trying to get through these batters ASAP. And the 0-1 pitch. That one's just outside, 1-1. That one's going to be high and outside. Now 2-1 for Jacob Hurley. And the 2-1 pitch. Low just outside of that bottom right corner. Now a 3-1 count for Jacob Hurley. And the 3-1 pitch. That one tipped and fouled. Count is now full. And Noche definitely working quicker than usual. And the full count pitch to Hurley. That one's going to be grounded, get past Noche, right over to Frost. He'll make the throw to first on time for the second out here in the top of the sixth. And now Ben Matos stepping up to bat for the Tigers. Matos also looking for his first hit here in the series finale. That one's going to be left outside, 1-0. And after a 3-run inning from Salem in the fifth, North Georgia trying to hold them scoreless here. Now with 2 outs in the top of the sixth, a 2-0 count for Ben Matos. And the 2-0 pitch. One's going to bounce in the dirt, get away from Starling. Luckily, no runners on. Counts now 3-0 for Matos. And the 3-0 pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt. 4 straight balls thrown here from Dylan Noche. Now puts a runner on first for Aaron Forbes.
30, Aaron Forbes.
Pitcher starting to warm up in the Nighthawk bullpen.
And we've seen Forbes with the most success today for the Tigers. Now it's going to be grounded right over to Frost, and he will gather, make the throw to first. And he's going to be out. Bowman, using those long legs over there at first base, makes the stretch and the catch for the out, and that's going to take us to the bottom of the sixth. Nighthawks holding the Tigers scoreless there in the top of the sixth. We'll see if the Nighthawks can regain the lead when we return. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clermont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at the Steiner. Connor Frost is going to lead things off for North Georgia as we head to the bottom of the sixth, where it's a tied ball game between North Georgia and Salem University in what has been a tightly contested ball game. And Frost sees a strike go by him there. Count's going to be 0-1. Evan Bell still on the mound for the Tigers. Comes the 0-1 pitch to Frost. That one's going to be outside. Now 1-1. And we've really seen two tightly contested ball games between these two squads today. It's 5-5 here in game number 3. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Frost. He tips this one fouled. Counts moving to 1-2. Tigers with 6 hits in this one. Nighthawks with 4. Frost with one of those 4 hits for North Georgia. And the 1-2 pitch going to be inside for strike 3. Bell gets the strikeout on the senior Connor Frost. And so now Luke Starling going to get a crack at it here for the Nighthawks. Starling rounding out the batting order for North Georgia. He's also the man behind the plate defensively for the Nighthawks today. He sees a strike there, counts 0-1. Now as we popped up high into right, fouled near the direction of Coleman Fieldhouse. Now Luke Starling in a quick 0-2 count. We've seen Bell and Noche work pretty quickly here in the 6th. 0-2 pitch to Starling, going to be low and in the dirt. Counts 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch to Starling. Now in just outside for a ball, now 2-2. Now it's going to be grounded over the third baseman. Nice fielding there as he'll make the throw to first on time for out number 2. With Andrew Sopata stepping back up to the plate for North Georgia. Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order. We've got a busy day of baseball around the Peach Belt Conference on this Saturday afternoon. Now it's going to be down the middle for a strike. 0-1 for Opata. Lander taking both games in their doubleheader against Flagler earlier today. Young Harris with a dominant 14-2 win over USC Beaufort. Columbus State, a dominant 11-0 win over Augusta in Game 1 of their doubleheader. Counts now 1-2 for Opata. A dominant win for Georgia Southwestern over USC Aiken, 12-0. And we have games between Georgia College and Claflin, Young Harris and USC Beaufort, and of course North Georgia and Salem University underway. Counts 2-2, Deuces running wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no runners on for North Georgia. And the 2-2 pitch to Opata. That one's going to get down in left field. Opata slams that one into left for a base hit for the Nighthawks. And so this bottom of the 6th stays alive. Now with Jace Bowen up to bat. Bowen was able to get his first hit of the afternoon last time he saw the plate. Let's see if we can get more of the same from Mr. Consistency here.
Yeah, definitely. You say Mr. Consistency. Consistency is the key to this game.
And that pitch from Bell just inside for a strike, 0-1. Pickoff attempt over there at first with Opata. Opata in our game earlier took firm place in 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference in stolen bases. The 0-1 pitch to Bowen going to be low for a ball, 1-1. So Opata's always got opposing pitchers' heads on a swivel. It's always a threat to make a break for it. Another pickoff attempt. Bell's got his eye over there on first. Another pickoff attempt. That one's going to be in the dirt. You can kind of tell when Bell is going to make a throw to first. He'll look behind him at second base. Nobody home, though. Bowen still awaits the pitch. It's a 1-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Going to be right down the middle for a strike. Counts 1-2. Bell still got his eye over there on Opata. Another pickoff attempt. Again, you can see Bell kind of looking behind him over there at his shortstop air. And you know when he's going to do that, we're getting another pickoff attempt as we see another one here. Bell playing a bit of catch over there with his first baseman, Zacharias. And the 1-2 pitch going to be high and outside. Now 2-2, and yet again Deuces are indeed running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With number 2-9 at the plate. Another pickoff attempt. Bell's really had his focus set over there on Opata at first. And the 2-2 pitch to Bowen, going to be high and outside. Count's now full. And Bell has pitched a couple of balls here after having his focus set over on Opata at first. We'll see if he can dial it back in here with Bowen at the plate. Comes the full count pitch, and he gets Bowen swinging and missing on that for the strikeout. So that's going to take us to the top of the 7th, where we're still tied 5-5 between the Nighthawks and the Tigers. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Back with you here in Dahlonega as we head to the top of the 7th. We got a tied ball game between North Georgia and Salem University. Jose Lojo is going to lead things off for the Tigers here in the top of the 7th. And that pitch from Noche going to cut it close, 1-0. Lojo rounding out the batting order for the Tigers, but he's seen a lot of success here in the series finale. He's had a hit in both of his plate appearances here in game number 3. And the 2-0 pitch from Noche. That one's going to be popped up high, fouled. Counts 2-1. Nighthawk still rolling with Noche on the mound. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. And that one's going to get down and left as Lojo continues to stay hot, and he will stop in his tracks over there at first. Lojo now 3 for 3 here in the series finale. Nighthawks have had some struggles trying to contain him here. And now Luis Angarita stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers. The leadoff hitter for Salem as the Tigers return to the top of their batting order. Angarita has had a pretty nice game himself here in the series finale. 2 for 3. Steal attempt there from Lojo, and the attempt is going to be out. A nice play there from Starling and Frost. The connection. Frost making the tag over there at second. Not letting him get past him there this time.
Yeah, pitch from the catcher Luke Starling to Connor Frost.
And a great play there from Justin Bailey, making the sliding catch over there in left field. A couple of great plays here from this Nighthawks defense.
Yeah, that was all started off by that Starling to Frost, getting the ball there in time, getting the runner at second out on time, and then getting that out right there. Now we have, instead of having a runner somewhere on base and 1 out, now we have 2 outs and no runners on base.
That's exactly what you got to do if you're North Georgia. Stop this Tigers momentum. And so far in the top of the 7th, they have Brett Ayer up to bat, and he sees a strike there from Dylan Noche. Counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch going to be inside. Paints that left side of the zone. Now a quick 0-2 count for air. And the 0-2 pitch. Now it's going to be grounded right over to Bowman over at first. He'll make the flip, and there's not a play going to be made. There were 3 Nighthawks around that ball, and none of them were able to get a hold of that one.
That was kind of odd what was happening at first base. You said there was kind of like a triangle of Nighthawk players, and I'm not sure which one it was, but whoever had initially had the ball, I don't think was sure who to toss it to, and not making the decision in time allowed air to get there on time.
And so now Caden Zacharias up to bat. He swings and misses on that. Counts 0-1, and I think things were made a bit difficult when Bowman stepped off of first base. And so now that you had the 3 Nighthawks surrounding the ball, could have had Noche or Frost corral that one in for the 3rd out. Now one's going to be tipped and fouled by Zacharias. Counts 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch, not coming quite yet. Pickoff attempt over there at first. Noche looking for his first strikeout of the evening. Will he get it here? Not coming quite yet, because we got the pickoff attempt at first. Bowman makes the tag, gets the out over there at first base. And so that's going to take us to the bottom of the 7th after a few great plays from this Nighthawks defense, holding the Tigers scoreless in the top of the 7th. We'll see if North Georgia can regain the lead when we return from the 7th inning stretch. You're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network. Back with you here in Dahlonega as we head to the bottom of the 7th. And the man, the myth, the legend, Riley Frost up to bat for North Georgia. Frost with that solo shot to left in the bottom of the 1st. Grounds this one over to the shortstop, and he'll corral that one in. Make the throw to first. Proving that Riley Frost is indeed human. So Nick Levenstein's going to get a crack at it here for the Nighthawks, stepping back up for North Georgia. And Devin Levenstein's a veteran presence on this team. I'm sure the Nighthawks are so glad to have him back as they head into the final stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, always good to have some veteran presence, especially on a lineup card that is filled with freshman players on it. Definitely needed, especially in situations like this. And like when either you're down late in the game or you're tied. In this instance, you're tied in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's definitely needed.
Absolutely, and because of the absence of
And
some
I
of the
think I'm going to say another thing too. I think since Levenstein's has come back, the Nighthawks have been playing really, really good too. Not that it's just completely Levenstein's, but I feel like that might be a factor on why they've been playing a lot better over what it feels like the past couple of weeks to really almost a month now.
Definitely, even just having his presence there back in the starting lineup has been a boost for this North Georgia squad. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Levenstein's. Swings and misses on that. Count as 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch to Levenstein's high for a ball, 2-2. And we mentioned because of the absence of some of these seniors on this North Georgia squad, some of the younger players having to step up into the spotlight. Now they've gotten some more chances at the plate. We've seen improvement from Riley Frost after a great freshman campaign last season. 2-2 pitch to Levenstein's. He cranks that one high into shallow left field. Play is going to be made over there in left by Jacob Hurley. Now with another senior, Tim Conway, up to bat. Conway's missed a bit of time this season as well. But now that you've seen the emergence of Riley Frost, Jace Bowen, just to name a few of the young players on this Nighthawk squad that have seen success, you combine that with the vets like Tim Conway and Nick Levenstein's inserted back into the starting lineup. Sky really is the limit for this team.
Yeah, and it's always good to have the veteran presence on the team. As I said earlier, to just help them in certain situations, because although it's the same sport, but there's differences between college and high school baseball. And the veterans that have been here for the longest, that have played for a while, and they're just able to help out the freshmen and just in the certain situations that sometimes they'll get into.
And even when they're not playing, you saw Tim Conway and Nick Levenstein providing some veteran leadership behind the scenes. As the count's 3-0 for Tim Conway. North Georgia with 4 seniors in their starting lineup. 3-0 pitch to Conway, going to be high for ball number 4. And that's going to walk Conway to first. You got Levenstein's, Connor Frost, Justin Bailey, and Tim Conway inserted into that starting lineup. And this veteran leadership can become key once North Georgia heads into playoff baseball. Combine that with the legendary head coaching of Tom Cantrell. This is definitely going to be a scary team come playoff season. Now Edwin Bowman up to bat. As that pitch gets away from the catcher, and Conway sliding into second.
Looked like the ball might have hit the ump in the knee, possibly, and ump went down on the play. The home plate ump.
Hopefully the home plate ump is okay. As Bell and Shin are going to have a quick conversation here on the mound, try to get back on the same page. I don't know if you're able to catch that, Devin, but that was a slick slide over in there at second from Tim Conway.
Yeah, taking advantage of the situation at hand and just getting to the base on time. Because from my vantage point, it looked like the catcher might have been a little concerned with the home plate umpire.
He looks to be okay. Good sight to see. Comes the 1-0 pitch to Bowman. That one's going to be low for a ball, 2-0. I believe that's going to be an intentional walk for Edwin Bowman, putting him on first. Now Justin Bailey stepping up to the plate.
Number 2, Justin Bailey.
Justin Bailey still looking for his first hit here in the series finale. And that pitch is going to be inside 0-1. Bell gets a signal, still got his eye on Conway at second. 0-1 pitch to Bailey, high for a ball, counts 1-1. And we've mentioned time and time before, Justin Bailey, no stranger into getting the Nighthawks back into games. Had that 2-run shot over the left field wall against 10th ranked team in the nation, Montevallo, earlier in the season. Counts 2-1 for Justin Bailey. Some of the Tigers fans here thought that was going to be called a strike. 2-1 pitch to Bailey. That one's going to be low. Counts now 3-1. Some of the Tigers faithful making the 8.5-hour commute from Salem, West Virginia. Got some dedicated fans here, and that's going to be ball number 4. Walks Justin Bailey, and now bases are loaded for Connor Frost.
Bases are loaded in a similar way that they were in the bottom of the 5th inning, but the difference here is the bases are loaded, but there's 2 outs on the board.
Absolutely, and we've seen the Nighthawks do a decent amount of work with 2 outs. Now we've got bases loaded. Connor Frost with a chance to blow this game open, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Evan Bell.
I'm curious to see the strategy that maybe Tom Cantrell is going to tell his players here, because compared to what we were facing in the bottom of the 5th, we had no outs, so it wasn't as much of a risk not swinging at something.
And so now,
because I feel like if North Georgia, if we get another walk, we score another run, we're up 6-5. I believe North Georgia can close and shut them out the rest of the game. So this is a big moment for North Georgia, because look, we're tied, and the batting today has been not necessarily hit or miss, but sometimes it can be really hot, and I'm curious to see the strategy that they're going to approach this with.
Well, now they've got bases loaded, having to face off against a new pitcher, which is number 20, Zach Kendall. Kendall with a 7.62 ERA this season, pitched 13 innings for the Tigers. He's allowed 12 hits, 12 runs. He's walked 11 batters, struck out 15 of them. He's allowed 2 home runs as well. And so this is definitely a big at-bat for North Georgia with the bases loaded. Try to take advantage of a new pitcher in the game for Salem. Zach Kendall, 6'2" freshman out of Orlando, Florida, Timber Creek High School. Last pitched against West Virginia Wesleyan, pitched 3 innings, allowing 2 hits in that game. Struck out 5 batters as well. But he's going to have to face off against the senior Connor Frost in his first assignment. And that first pitch from Kendall is going to be a strike. Counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch to Frost, and he slams this one over into right field, fouled near the Nighthawks bullpen, and now Connor Frost finds himself in an 0-2 count. Again, bases loaded for North Georgia, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Frost has already got a hit in this one. Can he get another? 0-2 pitch to Frost. And that one's outside for a ball, 1-2. And head coach for Salem, J.T. Heenan, is not too pleased with that call.
This is a big at-bat for Connor Frost.
1-2 pitch to Frost, high. Counts now 2-2, and just like that, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
The ball count is increasing now, only 2 balls away from a walk. We'll see. This is a big at-bat for not only Connor Frost, but North Georgia.
Now it's popped up high into left center field, and that's going to be caught by the center fielder, Loho. And J.T. Heenan, head coach for the Tigers, fired up. And that's going to take us to the top of the 8th, where it's still a tied ball game, 5-5 between North Georgia and Salem University. We'll see who's able to come away when we return. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
She has her whole life in front of her and already has a world-class heart team behind her. And so does every generation of her family, thanks to Georgia Heart Institute. Every day, our cardiologists, heart surgeons, and vascular surgeons bring breakthroughs that save and improve lives for generations. So whether you need heart care today or in 2073, we'll be here with the very best for your heart. Georgia Heart Institute.
Meet Harper. Harper was born to care and always had your back. Like the time she spotted a friend's rogue retainer, a threat of a permanent overbite, and made the save just in time.
I got you. Thanks.
Today, Harper still has your back as a teammate at Truist, the bank with Truist One checking.
I got you. Thanks.
With no overdraft fees, a negative balance buffer, and automatic upgrades, it's the checking account that has your back.
Back with you here at the Steiner as we head to the top of the 8th. Caden Zacharias going to lead things off for the Tigers. It's still a tied ball game, 5-5 between North Georgia and Salem University. Had 2 very tightly contested ball games between these 2 squads today. Noche getting Zacharias swinging and missing on that. Counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch, another swing and a miss from Zacharias. Quick 0-2 count. And the 0-2 pitch from Noche going to be well outside for a ball, 1-2. If North Georgia wants to come away with the win in the series finale, they definitely got to execute on this side of the ball. 1-2 pitch from Noche, another swing and a miss. Noche with his first strikeout of the evening. And now Tyler Shin stepping up into the batter's box for the Tigers. Shin looking for his first hit here in the series finale. Sees a ball. Count's going to be 1-0. Now it's going to be tipped and fouled, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch from Noche. That one's hit well into right field. Bowman is there. He makes the grab for out number 2 here in the top of the 8th. Nighthawks trying to get a quick 3 up, 3 down here. Nathan Kuhn up to bat.
Number 6, Nathan Kuhn.
Kuhn still searching for his first hit of the afternoon. Was unable to get one in the first game of our doubleheader earlier today. He swings and misses on that. Counts 0-1. And Kuhn coming into this game leading the Tigers in batting average with a .302 average on the season. Counts now a quick 0-2 for Nathan Kuhn. So he's seen the most success at the plate this season for the Tigers, but so far the Nighthawks have had his number. 0-2 pitch. That one's going to be hit well into center field. Opata not going to make a play, and so finally Nathan Kuhn puts his hands up in the air, gets his first hit on this Saturday afternoon. So now Jacob Hurley's going to get a crack at it. Hurley 0 for 3 here in the series finale. And now he's going to get down and left. Another base hit for the Tigers. And so Kuhn setting up some momentum from Hurley. Hurley taking advantage. Gets his first hit here in the finale. Here comes Ben Matos. Matos, the designated hitter for the Tigers, and Starling's going to come up to the plate and or the mound and have a conversation here with Noche, try to get back on the same page as they started out this 8th inning on a roll, but since then their momentum is definitely quieted down as Coach Cantrell makes his way to the mound. This could potentially be the end of the day for Noche, and it is. So that's a wrap on Dylan Noche. He's allowed 3 hits, walked a batter, struck out a batter in this one. So Coach Cantrell making another Wendy's call to the bullpen. And that pitching substitution, it's going to be Jack Amacio. Amacio with a 5.91 ERA this season, pitched just over 10 innings for the Nighthawks. He's allowed 9 hits, 8 runs. He's struck out 7 batters, walked 7 as well. He's allowed a home run this season when he's been on the mound as well. Held his batters to a .231 batting average this season. So Coach Cantrell not wanting to risk anything here. Makes a pitching swap with Jack Amacio, the 6'1" lefty pitcher out of Milton, Georgia, and Cambridge High School. He last pitched for North Georgia in their series against Flagler. Pitched less than an inning, but did not allow hits or runs for Flagler College. And the most innings he's pitched this year for the Nighthawks has been 1 full inning against Mars Hill Catawba. And he's pitched just over an inning over Anderson as well. Pitched an inning against USC Beaufort 2. So if he finishes out this game for the Nighthawks, it'll be the most innings he's pitched all season long. So Maceo getting some warm-up pitches. He's ready to go, and he's going to face off against Matos. Runners on first and second for the Tigers. And Amacio gets Matos swinging for his first pitch. Counts 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch, that one's going to be popped up high into center field, and that one's not going to get in the gap. Justin Bailey, the senior, is there to make the play. The vet stepping up big time there for North Georgia, taking us to the bottom of the 8th, where it's still a tied ball game, 5-5. We'll see if North Georgia can regain the lead when we come back. We've got a great game here at the Steiner. You're watching North Georgia baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Chick-fil-A of Dahlonega is the presenting sponsor of the Nighthawk of the Week program. From supporting local charities to hosting school spirit nights, Chick-fil-A restaurants are committed to giving back in ways that are most meaningful to their customers. If you're looking for great food nearby, it is Chick-fil-A's pleasure to serve you. United Logistics is a veteran-owned and relationship-driven company with a goal of being an integral part of the community, providing safe transportation and shipping solutions, and being recognized as one of the leading providers of transportation nationwide. Visit unitedlogistics.net for more information. Established in 1984 in nearby Clearmont, Georgia, the Chattahoochee Group is a local company that's grown to include construction, streetscaping, modular walls, metal buildings, disposal, concrete, sports field installation, site work, and more. To learn more about the Chattahoochee Group's wide range of project offerings, visit chatgroupinc.com.
Back with you here at Bob Stein Stadium at Lynn Cottrell Park, where we've got a tightly contested ball game between the Nighthawks and the Tigers, 5-5 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Luke Starling up to bat for North Georgia. He's going to lead things off here for the Hawks. Sees a strike. And now pitching for the Tigers is number 10, Jaden Ranieri. And that's going to be a ball pitch there from Ranieri. Counts now 1-1 for Luke Starling. Ranieri with a 4.63 ERA this season, pitched just over 23 innings, allowing 20 hits, struck out 31 batters, walked 20 of them. He's also allowed 1 home run when he's been on the mound as well. Held his opponents to a .235 batting average as he faces off against Luke Starling for his first assignment. 1-2 pitch. That one's going to be just outside for a ball, 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch to Starling. It's going to be just outside that top right corner of the zone. Count is now full. Starling searching for his first hit here in the finale. And the full count pitch. That one's going to be low for ball number 4. Starling walked to first, and now the Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order with Andrew Sopata.
Now it's just time execution time for the Nighthawks, where last inning that the Nighthawks were up to bat, we got the bases loaded now. Now, albeit it was a little different than when we got those 3 runs when the bases were loaded with 0 outs, but if the walks keep on coming, it's time for the Nighthawks to execute.
And that pitch from Ranieri is going to be inside for a strike, 0-1, and we talked earlier about the Nighthawks, trying to tread that line between taking some risks at the plate and playing it safe. We've seen the Nighthawks played a bit more safe here in this one, but it has definitely paid off. Scoring a couple runs with bases loaded on some walks. Counts now 1-1 for Opata. Ranieri, a 6-foot sophomore out of Murrieta, California. 1-1 pitch to Opata, going to cut it close 2-1. Ranieri got his eye on first. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Opata. Another one outside of the zone. Counts 3-1. Ranieri hasn't pitched since April 8th against Mansfield. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Opata inside. Count is now full. In that game against Mansfield, Ranieri pitched less than an inning, but he did allow a hit. And he struck out a batter as well. Full count pitch. Going to cut it close for ball number 4. Nice eye there from Opata. Going to be walked to first.
Nighthawks got runners on first and second. Things are getting interesting.
The plate discipline really paying off for North Georgia in this one. Jace Bowen now up to bat for the Nighthawks. Jace Bowen looking for his second hit of the afternoon. He's got runners on first and second. And that pitch from Ranieri is going to be outside. 1-0 count for Jace Bowen. And we talked about the Tigers having to be a bit more risky at the plate on the offensive end. North Georgia hasn't had to do a lot of that facing off against these Tigers pitchers. 1-0 count to Bowen, but he swings and misses on that. 1-1 count for the freshman. Jace Bowen looking to blow this game open for North Georgia. Still looking for his first collegiate home run. One pitch to Bowen outside. Count's going to be 2-1. Bowen, not really known for being a heavy hitter, but he's definitely been the most consistent, not only for North Georgia, but one of the most consistent hitters in all the Southeast. And the 2-1 pitch to Bowen. He bunts here. Perfectly placed bunt, and the throw to first is not going to be there on time. And here come the Hawks. A run scored for North Georgia. Coach Cantrell waving to home. And the slide into home plate. He's going to be safe. Opata showing off the wheels there. Bowen, Mr. Consistency, does it again. Puts the Nighthawks up 7-5 in this one.
Great execution there on the bunt by Jace Bowen. Able to get 2 runners home. Nighthawks lead 7-5.
So Jace Bowen coming up clutch here. He gets one down in the outfield.
And that's what you like to see from the Nighthawks. Making a perfect bunt like that, and then taking advantage of the 2 runners you already have on base, and then Salem making an error at first base. Couldn't ask for it any better, and just the execution was great by the Nighthawks in that situation.
And that error could prove to be costly as the Nighthawks now go up by 2 runs. And
yeah, that's right. I mean, it can be costly because now, look, we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nighthawks up by 2. There's 0 outs. You got a runner at third.
And with Riley Frost at the plate now for North Georgia. And even if they don't put any more runs up on the board here in the bottom of the 8th, I'm sure that they'd love to, but if it stays 7-5, taking us to the top of the 9th, the Nighthawks can close it out with their pitching. 1-0 pitch to Frost. Going to be outside for a ball. 2-0 for Riley Frost. And so getting those 2 runs here in the bottom of the 8th was key. Now that North Georgia just has to hold the Tigers defensively as Frost sees a strike there. Count's going to be 2-1. Of course, if it does come to that, though, North Georgia with the advantage of being the home team can answer in the bottom of the 9th if need be. 2-1 pitch to Frost. Going to be inside now, 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch to Frost. Outside, good eye, full count. No outs in the bottom of the 8th. Got Bowen hanging out over there at third in familiar territory. And the full count pitch. That one's slapped high into left field. And that one's going to be just fouled. Another one of those what-if plays for North Georgia. If only that one had stayed on that right side of the 320 marker.
Yeah, would have easily
At least scored Bowen,
yeah,
that's for sure. Count stays full for Riley Frost. And the full count pitch. That one's going to be grounded over near Coach Cantrell. Count stays full.
Yeah, that ball before this previous pitch would easily have scored Bowen, and then you'd be up by 3 runs over Salem University.
Yeah, Hurley lost track of it, so if it stayed in play, definitely would have scored Bowen. Would have put Frost on probably second. Count still full for Riley Frost. Another foul ball from the sophomore. And the full count pitch. Outside, good eye from Frost. Ball number 4. And now runners are on the corners for Nick Levensteins.
And I think the key thing to remember here is that you have runners on third and first base. We've already scored 2 runs, but there's no outs.
That is definitely key for North Georgia as the Tigers are going to talk things over.
And they make Salem University's making a pitching change now. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see that a little earlier in it. And when you look at pitching, you could say it's kind of a guessing game to see what could happen. And obviously what we saw was North Georgia getting 2 runs, and now having runners on the corners, but there's no outs on the board.
And we've definitely seen head coach J.T. Heenan go deep into his bullpen here in the series finale, and now on the mound for the Tigers is going to be number 12, Tyler Sammons. He's got a 10.69 ERA. He's pitched 16 innings for the Tigers, allowing 34 hits, 28 runs, 19 of those runs earned, walked 6 batters, struck out 14 of them, has allowed 2 home runs, and held his opponents to a rather high .415 batting average.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before we got into this picture that coaches going deep into their bullpen. I feel like this whole weekend for Salem University, they've been a little apprehensive at times to switch their pitchers. And sometimes in this situation, you look at it, and sometimes when you switch the pitcher a little too late, it can end up burning you.
And we've, of course, seen Coach Cantrell go deep into his bullpen, especially in these non-conference midweek matchups for North Georgia. He's not afraid to go through 7, 8, 9 pitchers in a game. But we've only seen a few
another
pitchers.
thing, too, when you look at the statistics for Salem University's pitchers, too, a lot of them are good pitchers. One of the pitchers they had, I believe it was starting yesterday, was in the top 10 in the NCAA, and I believe it was strikeouts.
That is Sam Schmidt, who pitched earlier today in the first game of our doubleheader. He's got 78 strikeouts on the year. So you're exactly right. They've definitely got some nice pitchers in their bullpen over there at Salem. Unfortunately, none of them have really had an answer for North Georgia, especially here in our series finale. Counts 0-1 for Levensteins. That one's going to be outside. Counts 1-1. Levenstein's looking for his first home run since returning from injury. 1-1 pitch. That one's hit well into right center field. And that one's getting down in right field. Almost was a home run for Levensteins, but a couple RBIs here, or one for Chase Bowen. Makes it an 8-5 ball game, and that one almost got out of here for Nick Levensteins.
Yeah, that was almost nearly a home run for the senior Nick Levensteins. Would have gotten him his second home run on the season, but gets another RBI, gets another run, extends North Georgia's lead by 3 runs, 8-5.
Absolutely. We'll definitely take that as the Nighthawks now go up 3 runs. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
And this is what you like to see from North Georgia, taking advantage of the situation that's been presented to them at hand. And another key thing too. That's another run, another hit that we got. Still 0 outs in the bottom of the 8th.
Now Tim Conway up to bat for North Georgia. Runners on second and third. As Conway sees another ball there, counts 2-0. Got Riley Frost over there on third and Levensteins over on second. And the 2-0 pitch to Conway, going to be down the middle for a strike, 2-1. Conway's got Bowman on deck. We've mentioned the Nighthawks with great play discipline in this one. Of course, they're not afraid to let it fly, though. 2-1 pitch to Conway, going to be low for ball number 3. As we saw there, Nick Levensteins with a shot over to right field, hits the wall, making this an 8-5 ball game. And the 3-1 pitch to Conway. I'm going to say he swung there, bat made it over the plate. Count is now full. And the full count pitch. That one's tipped and fouled behind the press box.
Skyrocketed out of here.
That Conway wanted all of that one. Count stays full for the senior. And the full count pitch from Salmons. Down the middle. Gets the strikeout there on Tim Conway. And now Edwin Bowman's going to get a crack at it here for North Georgia with the runners on second and third.
Number 24, Edwin Bowman.
Bowman still searching for his first hit in the series finale. So is Levensteins, but he was able to get one to go. So we'll see if Bowman can get more of the same, but he swings at that one, misses, counts 0-1. Nighthawks now with 7 hits in this one. And the 0-1 pitch to Bowman. Going to be low for a ball, 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch to Bowman going to be, again, low and outside. Counts moving to 2-1. And up next on the schedule, the Nighthawks with a tough matchup against North Greenville University, as that one is going to go in between the legs of the catcher, and another run on the board for North Georgia. Frost going to take advantage of that one. He'll cross home plate rather easily as that baseball nutmegged Ethan Barnett there. So now the Nighthawks with a 4-run lead. And the 3-1 pitch to Bowman. That one's going to be inside, now full count. So the Nighthawks taking advantage of some errant pitching from the Tigers. Able to cushion their lead a bit in this one. Full count pitch to Bowman. He swings hard on that one and misses. Another strikeout for Salmons. And so back comes the senior Justin Bailey.
Might have struck out on that last batter, but North Georgia's still able to get a run in.
And so Salmons has struck out Conway and Bowman. Bailey may have something to say about that, and he sees a strike right down the middle. Counts 0-1. We were just mentioning North Georgia with a tough matchup coming up this Tuesday against North Greenville University. They're 37-6 this year. A perfect 22-0 at home, where North Georgia's got to go, and that's going to be another run up on the board for the Nighthawks. Here at the Steiner, it's now a 5-run lead. Levenstein's able to cross home plate. Count still 0-1 for Bailey. Now it's popped up high into right field, but fouled. Now 0-2 for the senior. And these 5 runs, the most we've seen from any team all weekend in an inning. And the 0-2 pitch to Bailey, going to be low and in the dirt. Count is now 1-2. So if the Nighthawks are able to pick up the series win here against Salem, it'll definitely be a big momentum boost going into their matchup against North Greenville on Tuesday. 1-2 pitch to Bailey. That one's going off the glove of Barnett. And so we got a 2-2 count. Deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with number 2 at the plate. And the 2-2 pitch to Bailey. He gets this one down in right field. And number 2 strikes again with the 2-2 count. Getting on base for North Georgia. So now Connor Frost stepping up for North Georgia, trying to extend this inning for the Nighthawks. And we've mentioned earlier, North Georgia doing a lot of damage with 2 outs in the inning throughout this game. That one's going to be outside from Salmons. 1-0 count for Connor Frost. And the 1-0 pitch. Also outside, Bailey stepping out first for a moment. Gets back. Counts 2-0 for Frost. And the 2-0 pitch. Going to be just inside for a strike, 2-1. We mentioned North Georgia taking on North Greenville University on Tuesday, but they've got to dial it in here. Come away with the win in the series finale.
and that'll be one of two matchups against North Greenville. They'll play them this week on the road, and then they're going to be coming here to North Georgia, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday on April 26th here at Bob Stein Stadium.
So a couple big games for North Georgia coming up. They got to close it out here against the Tigers. Bailey showing off some wheels. Gets to second. Stolen base for the senior. Counts 2-2 for Connor Frost. And the 2-2 pitch outside. Nighthawks find themselves in another full count. And the full count pitch to Frost. Swing and a drive into left center field. And that one's going to get down. Connor Frost strikes again in this one. Scores Bailey and makes his way to second. And the Nighthawks have blown this one wide open, taking a 6-run lead over the Tigers.
Yeah, earlier it was really just North Georgia taking advantage of a situation that was pretty much presented to them by the pitcher walking a bunch of batters. And now North Georgia's just firing on all cylinders. The bats have gotten real hot in the bottom of the 8th, and North Georgia's just blown this thing wide open now.
It was only a matter of time before one of these teams got hot. North Georgia getting hot here in the bottom of the 8th. 6 runs up on the board. Luke Starling up to bat, and that one is going to hit him. And so now runners on first and second for Andrew Sopata. Nighthawks return to the top of their batting order. And Opata can potentially add on some more insurance runs for North Georgia. Opata 1 for 2 today. He's been walked 3 times here in the finale. And this may be the end of the day for Salmons. Head coach JT Heenan coming out to the mound. Doesn't look like we're going to have a pitching substitution here. Doesn't look like there's a lot of action going on over there in the visitors' bullpen either. But the Nighthawks have definitely taken advantage of some pitching from Salmons in this one. Offense on fire. They've now matched the Tigers in hits with 9, but they hold a 6-run lead. And now they've got a pretty decent cushion heading into the top of the 9th. So Salmons still on the mound. And that pitch to Opata high and outside for a ball, 1-0 count. And the 1-0 pitch to Opata. That one's going to be right outside. Counts 2-0. Salmons gets the signal. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Opata. That one's going to be inside. Just inside for a strike. 2-1 for Andrew Opata. Salmon's got his eye on second. Comes the 2-1 pitch to Opata. That one's also inside, and so yet again, deuces are running wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on for North Georgia here in the bottom of the 8th. And the 2-2 pitch to Opata. That one's hit hard and fouled. Count's going to stay at 2-2. Salmon's got a signal. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's going to be tipped and fouled. Opata doing a good job battling here, still alive. We mentioned earlier, Opata has been walked 3 times here in the finale. Can't really afford another one of those with Jace Bowen on deck. And the 2-2 pitch to Opata. Outside, and just like that, the count is full. And the full count pitch. Now it's popped up high into shallow right field. And that's going to be caught for out number 3. But the Nighthawks pouring it on here in the bottom of the 8th. 6 runs as they take an 11-5 lead, heading to the top of the 9th, where North Georgia could potentially close things out. When we return, you're watching North Georgia Baseball on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
How do you create something that's different than everyone else? You do it differently than everyone else. Here at Copeland Creative, we specialize in telling captivating stories of wild people, wild things, and wild places. We don't just capture the story, we immerse ourselves in it. We are a diverse, multi-talented media house based in North Georgia, and if you have a story that needs told, we want to help you tell it.
Greatness. Greatness is defined as striving to succeed. It is giving everything you have to achieve your goals. It's not defined by the numbers of games you lose, the numbers of shots you miss, but it's the risk in failing that will define your greatness. You earn it by showing up early, by pushing yourself every day, by working harder than everyone else. And when you've reached that point of giving up, you don't. Most people are good, others are great. Find your greatness.
Back with you here at the Steiner as we head to the top of the 9th. Nighthawks with a sizable lead over the Tigers. 6 runs up, 11-5. We'll see if they can close things out here in the top of the 9th with Jack Amacio on the mound. He's going to have to face off against Forbes, who has seen the most success for the Tigers today. Tigers guaranteed to see Forbes, Loho, and Angaritas. Counts now 2-0 for Forbes. And the 2-0 pitch outside, now 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch inside, nice rebound there from Amacio, makes it 3-1. The 3-1 pitch gonna be just outside for ball number 4, and so Amacio walks Forbes as he heads to first base. Now with Loho up to bat, who has been on fire here in the series finale. He's 3 for 3, and Coach Cantrell knows that, and that's going to be the end of the day for Jack Amacio. Amacio's had a solid game for North Georgia to close out this one, but Coach Cantrell not wanting to risk anything here, making a Wendy's call to the bullpen. We will have that pitching substitution for you here in just a moment. And that is going to be number 37, Pete Weil. The right-handed pitcher, 6'2", redshirt senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, Woodward Academy. Just going to try to close things out here for North Georgia. And Weil this season, a 6.75 ERA. He's pitched just over 10 innings for North Georgia, allowing 14 hits, 9 runs, 8 of those runs earned. He's walked 4 batters, struck out 7 of them. He's allowed 2 home runs, held his opponents to a .318 batting average. And so North Georgia baseball looking for the series win here against Salem. North Georgia softball earning the series win against Georgia College earlier today in their doubleheader against the Bobcats. They've got their series finale scheduled for tomorrow at noon on the road in Milledgeville. Could potentially go for the series sweep in that game.
North Georgia softball winning both those games against Georgia College on Jackie Robinson Day.
Jackie Robinson, a baseball legend. So Pete Weil is going to get in some warm-up pitches here for North Georgia as the Nighthawks look to get back in the win column against Salem University. And they were 8-0. And now 8-1 after the Tigers took Game 2 of the series a few hours ago. And Weil's first pitch is going to be a strike. Counts 0-1 for Loho, who, as we just mentioned, has been the hottest batter for the Tigers here in Game 3. 3 for 3. He's got a hit every time he's seen the plate here in the finale. We'll see if Weil has something to say about that. And the 0-1 pitch to Loho. That one's going to hit him. Maybe in the hand. Looks like. And so now runners are going to be on first and second as the Tigers return to the top of their batting order with Angaritas.
Number 1, Luis Angarita.
Definitely not what you want to see here if you're Coach Cantrell, with runners on first and second, no outs in the top of the ninth.
Definitely not, especially coming off of a highly successful bottom of the 8th inning, and then you're at the top of the 9th. You're up by 6 runs, and now you have 2 runners on base with no outs, and yeah, something you want to make sure you hold up on the defensive side as well.
That pitch from Weil is going to be outside. 1-0, even though North Georgia holds a sizable lead over Salem. Anything's possible when it comes to baseball. Put a couple runners on if you're the Tigers and potentially get one out of the park. It's a completely different ball game. 1-0 pitch from Weil. It's going to be low. Counts now 2-0. And we still see some action going on in the Nighthawks bullpen. Weil may not be the last pitcher we see for North Georgia here in the finale. 2-0 pitch. That one's popped up high into shallow left field. Actually foul territory. But Bowen's there to make the grab for the first out here in the top of the ninth. Nice job there from Bowen. Getting the Nighthawks back on track. Making the easy grab there.
Number 25, Brett Ayer.
Brett Ayer now up to bat. Ayer today's 1 for 3. Does have 2 RBIs. And he grounds this one near the Nighthawks dugout. 0-1 count. And the Tigers have already matched their win total from last season with 16. They could potentially surpass that with a comeback win here tonight. Now it's going to be swung on and missed. Counts now 0-2. Nighthawks looking for their 25th win of the season as they try to get back to 8 games over 500. And the 0-2 pitch from Weil. Low for a ball, counts 1-2. Weil gets a signal. And the 1-2 pitch. Gets the strikeout there on air. Nice pitching there from Pete Weil. And now the Tigers down to their final out here in the top of the 9th. We'll see if Caden Zacharias can extend this game for the Tigers. Zacharias still searching for his first hit here in the series finale. Will he get one here to extend this game for Salem? Now it's going to be popped up high into shallow left field, and Bowen is there to make the grab, and the Nighthawks win the series over the Tigers. They now push their record to 25-16, a 9-1 overall record against Salem University. Devin, any final thoughts on this one?
Well, I thought when certain situations arose today, especially in the bottom of the 8th inning, the Nighthawks took advantage of it, scoring 6 runs. I think it was just the execution of this Nighthawk team in this Game 3, and I think they learned from last game, be a little bit more consistent from last game where you were just kind of hot and cold, but they were able to get to win, able to take advantage of what was given to them, especially in the bottom of the 8th inning with all the pitchers allowing all the walks. And yeah, the Nighthawks executed, and I think that was what the key was to this game to win, and they got the job done today. Absolutely, got the job done indeed.
And that's going to do it for us here in the series finale at the Steiner. Your final score, 11-5. Nighthawks on top of the Tigers as North Georgia gets the series win, building some momentum into their big road matchup coming up this Tuesday against North Greenville University. And we'll be back with you here in a few days on April 26th when North Georgia baseball comes back into town for a home matchup against North Greenville University. A big thanks to everyone on the Nighthawk Sports Network team working behind the scenes to make this one possible. On behalf of Devin Kupka and the rest of the NSN crew, this is Robert D. Clementi saying thanks so much for watching. Again, your final score from Dahlonega, 11-5, Nighthawks on top. Until next time, good night, everyone.